Alright, before I start the video, I'm going to address my absence. I know I've been gone for a long ass time, but I've been busy with in real life stuff, and YouTube has taken back burner as well as some of my other hobbies. So that's a thing. And on top of that life cake is the fact that digesting all of the stupidity out there is adamantly reinforcing my own self-destruction and misanthropy. It's like shoving needles down my urethra very slowly. But I am here today with something that was so unequivocally stupid that it may be a documented instance of atavism. Okay, I mean that literally, by the way, not just some word used flippantly like I'm going to portray relatively soon here. Yes. Okay, I said that while holding up the OK hand symbol, because the mere state of humanity is simultaneously hilarious and depressing. So, Zina Bash, this woman here, and despite the fact her last name will be inherited via marriage to her husband, brings to mind the image of a guy from the trailer park who is serving time for beating his messed up girlfriend. Again. But instead of that person, you get a lawyer with a Jewish heritage. Well, I guess there's some stereotype in that. Regardless, recollections of my neighbors aside, she was on the receiving end of a tidal wave of blue wave dick waffles. Hockey helm was freshly polished. Proclaiming that she, the granddaughter of a literal Holocaust survivor, was making a white supremacist hand symbol. Not like this is a surprise, seeing as articles such as this exist. But this article begs the question, would that make him a gray supremacist? He's black and he's white supremacy, gray supremacy. Makes sense. But what is it going to be? Move over white supremacy, gray supremacy is here, and it's inclusive. But back to the topic at hand. Zina was making the OK symbol as she shifted position during Kavanagh's. Yes, I'm aware I butchered that. But regardless, she shifted position during this hearing, resting her hand in such a way that it made the OK symbol. And cue the slew of blue wave dick waffles. Despite the fact that even the fucking ADL admitted that it wasn't a hate symbol. This is not a hate symbol. Of course, with a snag they admitted, but that's besides the point. Which begs the question, are these blue-ticked idiots not aware of how daft they look? I just typed in ADL, this is in verbatim, quote, ADL, OK symbol, white supremacy symbol, question mark. And the first page on Google is the fucking ADL page that blatantly states that it isn't. It took me 5 seconds. That's all it took. And on top of saying that it isn't a hate symbol, they say it is in fact a troll to, quote, own the libs, end quote, which, depending on your outlook, could be exactly what they did. Memories of the whole, quote, it's okay to be white, unquote, thing that happened not that long ago. It just comes to mind, the big kick here being that the news organizations that were tripping over their own drool in an attempt to make it out like the phrase in of itself was somehow linked to the supremacy of white people, were devoid of the wherewithal to understand that they were simultaneously, one, making it out to be like being white isn't okay, and two, doing exactly what the trolls wanted them to do, and knowing they were playing into their hands. That's like slashing your wrists and expecting unicorns and rainbows to fall out, and that guy that just mugged you to give you your money back. But that's the crux of this, isn't it? All these triggered fools are going to eventually make this symbol indicative of white supremacy, simply through word of mouth. I mean, look at the likes and retweets on those tweets that were shown. Quote, I can't remember from whom. It's not verbatim, so if anybody in the comments could please let me know who this quote is from. You'll get the general gist of what I'm trying to say here. But it states that tell a lie once, and it's a lie. Tell a lie a million times, and it becomes truth. Now, that's not to say in order for this to become a trend that gains traction is the simple act of reputation. It's a reputation and the fact that people will eventually believe it based off of their own bias. I do actually believe those people see in their mind's eye that white supremacists are around every corner and close themselves off to any semblance of shadows shed by what they perceive as the funeral pyre of all rights by the way of fascism and the rise of a neo-Hitler, and choose to ignore those shadows, even though they are the reality, and they're available with a Google search. So more or less what I'm trying to say is, the people that actually believe that she was trying to portray some hate symbol, and I have seen some articles, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but they were stated in the article that she was giving a smirk the whole time after she had given text. It's not the fact that she's doing it, it's the problem. It's the fact that you keep perpetuating, and I really, really hate to use this phrase as a whole general statement. You are perpetuating the concept that the OK symbol is a white power symbol, or white supremacy symbol, or alt-right symbol, or far-right symbol, however you choose to verbally diarrhea explain it to me today. You are further reinforcing that as fact, despite the literal evidence that is available to you within a few keystrokes. Now, remember when I said that this is atavism? You have the tools at your disposal, but you refuse to use them because it would affect your bias. You want to believe that there's white supremacists around corners. You want to believe that Richard Spencer is secretly hiding in your closet and filming you jerk off. Yeah, I do realize that's an exaggeration, but you see where the fuck I'm going with this. What she was doing was not a white power symbol. And if you think it is, you probably only think it because, A, she has something to do with Covenant, but that's the video. That isn't coming up in the next fucking off the cuff, because that is just stupidity in of itself. But you believe that just because she's associated with Covenant, Trump, and the Republican Party, those three things make her indicative of white supremacy in most of these people's eyes just by being those three things. That's it. That's like saying that every German is a Nazi just because Hitler was Jewish, or fucking not Jewish, German. Every Nazi, everyone in Germany is a Nazi because Hitler was German. That's the kind of fucking mental capacity and mental thought that you people are putting into this shit. And in fact, it's even worse than that, because at least Hitler actually had tangible things that could be associated between him and other German people. And the fact that he was German, that puts that analogy at a higher level than the analogy of an OK symbol being equivalent to white power just because you fucking morons fall for a hoax that was intended to be a hoax, that you were intended to fall for, that you fell for anyway, just to own the cons. It's stupidity. Pure and utter stupidity. Stop it. You are halting the progression of mankind, you fucking mouth-breathing, drooly, libtard, socialist pricks. With that said, I am done. See, it gets me a little irritated. But regardless, I'm not going to leave that on an angry note like that. I'm going to just simply say that whenever you see somebody immediately associate any form of gesture done by anybody of the Republican Party or any party that's not heavily Democrat, if you see a slew of news organizations, mainstream news organizations, that paint that as though it's some kind of hate symbol or whatever, just as soon as that dinner plate shows up on your table, just grab a huge bag of salt, because it's probably bullshit. Just saying. Anyway, with that, that'll do it for this video, and I will be back hopefully a hell of a lot sooner this time with an off the cuff. So have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and or night, and I will see you cunts later.